Well, g'day. I've just made this video just to go through some of the jigs that I've used to make this Telecaster style guitar. So let's go back to, well, perhaps start with the neck, which I think is probably the hardest part. So I'll take a blank of maple in this case, but it could be whatever sort of hardwood you like, and then route a channel down the centre of that, which is I think it's 6mm. Whatever it is to accommodate that truss rod, which is StewMac's double rod truss rod, so you can flex it both ways. Once I've got that there, then I actually take this template, which is a big piece of laser cut stainless, and I put that over the top, and then I put a couple of little keys in there, just a bit of perspex or something like that in there and there, to line up with those slot. So it's going to be a similar sort of thing to that before it's been cut to the profile. And I've also got some markings here, which is like a diamond sort of shape there, which means I can line it up on the center if I need to as well. So if I have a line scribed down the center of this board, I can line it up with that, just in case I didn't want to use this truss rod here. I've got a couple of screw holes there. These are where the tuning pegs go, obviously, but this one here is countersunk, so I can actually screw that into there and screw into there and there as well. And then I can trace around that, cut it out in the bandsaw, and then come back and run a ball bearing bit around that just to line it up. So once that's cut out to profile, then I've got this other little jig here to line up this end hole. So what I do is I take this this piece of basically it's a bit of steel here on the end, just with a hole centered through it, and then I've lined that up perfectly with a piece of aluminium here, which is actually the same width as that truss rod slot. And so what that does is that sits over the top of this. Come back a little bit there, just whack that down. I can clamp that into there, and then when I drill this hole down there, I know it's going to line up perfectly centered with where that truss rod needs to run. And so then my truss rod sits back in there, and that slots down and then forward, and then I know that my hole is going to be perfectly in line with where that truss rod channel sits. And so that's kind of what a neck looks like when it's all done. You can see one there. I've attached the fingerboard to the front of that one. So fingerboard wise, in this case I've used ebony. Got some ebony blanks here, and then just use one of these StewMac guides, but you can get those from a lot of places now, or just get them made up yourself. And use those little index marks along the side there, so you basically double-sided tape the jig to your template, to your ebony, and then that sits on a table saw sled with little index marks, and every time you move your slot along one index mark, you just run it past the saw blade, and you set your depth for whatever depth you want there. Okay, and so then onto the body. So the main thing, I'm just using a couple of bits of American ash here. Okay, but then once that's centered, or once again you plane it and join it and everything else. So this jig here that I've made up, which is basically once again a Telecaster style here, I've got once again the diamonds here and here, which help me line up center. So if you do find a center mark on wherever those, once they're perfectly joined, a little bit nicer than what they are now. Then I can obviously screw that to the body here and here, and I can also screw it up into here where the neck cavity is going to go later on as well. That's fixed firmly to the to my template. No, sorry, to my body. I can route out these channels and holes and cavities wherever I need them. Can also pre-drill holes for the bridge and so forth, strings. On the back of this you would run it the same thing, and you can obviously drill the holes for your string ferrules as well, which is kind of nice. And then I've made a similar sort of one out of perspex, which I was using for a while as well. And the thing about this perspex one is it's got the neck cavity in as well, so I can, once again, I've got a line scribed on that for center, so I can just lay that on the on your body, and then run that through on the center mark there, and then route out your neck cavity. And then yeah, then it's pretty much all the hard stuff, which is the shaping and the sanding and all, just getting it looking kind of like that. And this one's got ash on the back and American, sorry, beg your pardon, American ash on the back, Australian blackwood, really nice piece of blackwood on the top there, and then ebony fingerboard, mother of pearl inlays. These are Texas Special, Fender Texas Special pickups, three-way switch. This is all kind of stock stuff from Stu Mac, I think, those the hardware. Some Grover tuners, I think they are. Yeah, Grover tuners. And oh, nice bit of really nice bit, yeah, let's put that down so I can focus on it, of bird's eye maple for the neck, which is a stunning piece of wood. Came out really nice. See the back here, and there's our string ferrules, and yeah, so that's pretty much the jigs that I use to make my life a lot easier when I'm building Telecasters.